Hey there, my gorgeous goddesses. In this video, I want to talk about my Regulate on the Run program, which is chapter 1 of Keys to Connection. So if you're interested, check it out. If you're feeling the same vibe I am, the vibe that's on the rise, the vibe that's seeing the ick for what it is and not wanting to be around it, but not being around people that make you feel bad or sad, it's not as easy. It's just magnetizing in all your wonderful people. There's a shift that needs to occur, and that shift can get lonely, can feel isolating at times, but that's because you're in the in-between. And if you've watched any other of my other videos, it's in the in-between that we become the chooser of our legacy, and therefore we fulfill our destiny. That just sounded so yummy. And this all takes a shift. Moving out of operating from masculine energy, on the go, on the go, on the go. When I started making videos, I could only make shorts for 15 seconds. I could barely sit for 15 seconds. But I did it, and I perfected it, and I mastered it to the point where I was talking myself into that people only wanted 15 seconds. Well, sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And I'm not the 15-second girl anymore, because there's so much more in the spaces in between those 15 seconds that doesn't get sat in, that doesn't get asked about, that doesn't get clarified. Yes, the womanhood codes are yummy, and they go deep, and we can continuously going deep with them. But if there's no context around them, what does it mean? What does it mean your breath, your broadcast is in your breath? What does that mean? It takes conversations with women that know there's more out there. Even though their life is pretty darn good, they can resonate with overworked, overhustled, feeling lonely, feeling unseen. And it's because we're living from our masculine energy. Learning how to take a breath. Learning how to intentionally take that breath. And spending 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 seconds on it. Picturing and visualizing medicine entering your body, enveloping your spinal column and coming out as an aura around yourself, traveling down your body and fixing every molecule that needs fixed, taking it all the way down to your womb space and blessing the creation energy that is you, and connecting with your cervix, because that's connected to generations and millennia of women that have fed your DNA with womanhood codes. You just don't know they're there because you live in your masculine energy. But being able to take that breath and spending that time without, like, I don't have time for this. I just remembered I had to do something and somebody needs my help, and asking Alexa over and over again, what's on your calendar, is you're not living inside your body. And that just takes practice. And that's what we do in the Keys to Connection as we come together every Friday and we practice, or we say, how the hell do you do this? How do you make this switch when you've never seen a woman inside your body or her body? Or if you did, there was something wrong with her. There was something suspicious about her. I remember my mother saying, talking to us as we were growing up, that, yeah, that's why Marilyn Monroe died young. The only woman in our family that I can remember that was truly rested and cherished in her feminine energy was my paternal grandmother, who I didn't know for the first 7 years of my life because she was bad. That's how this shit gets conditioned in you. So letting it go and being able to rest in your feminine energy is practicing taking a breath like this. Regulate on the run. That's what it starts with. And it starts with a deep belly breath. It's not the shallow breathing we do on a daily basis because we're running from one task to another. It's that deep belly breath that touches your yoni and brings a smile to your face. It's that deep breath connected to your inheritance as a woman on this planet that you now see, that you're ready to cash in. So let's cash this stuff in. Regulate us when we're triggered because we live in a society where feminine energy is not celebrated. And you walking out there being the best dressed woman in the room, you are not being celebrated. When you sit in groups of women where they say, oh, I didn't know what to wear today, that's why I texted you all, but you never got that text. You are not celebrated. When you have an opinion at the table and somebody attacks you for it and predicts your future as doom and gloom because of your opinion, yeah, they're not in that energy. They're in their survival energy. And if you don't belong to the tribe, you're going to die and you're going to bring me down with you. So shut the fuck up. Now that we see that, for that survival energy, keep everybody low vibe so none of us die, that's an old pattern. That's an old paradigm. What you need to do is get out of that shit soup of people that are afraid they're all going to die when you open your mouth, and come out where the other 8 billion people are. Start observing. And when you take that breath and you bring it all the way down to your belly, and it might take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times to do that, especially when you're triggered out there at work with your family, sitting at dinner. How do you bring that breath all the way down to the place where there's a knowing that you know exactly what to do because you are connected to royalty. Your feminine vessel is the Holy Grail. The holy books, they don't, especially the Christian religion, has pretty much obliterated the feminine energy out of it. But if you go to church and listen to the readings and into the scripture, they're all talking about how to protect it and how to attract it. You are your soft feminine currency is a rarity. And it needs to be protected, but people don't know how to do it, so they shut you up so that you don't get killed. They neglect you, but then tell you they love you, to trauma bond them to yourself so that you feed them. Your feminine energy is so freaking expensive that the people around you don't know what to do. Let them fall because you're not losing anybody. This is called aligning yourself with your values of the woman you want to become. I call her the 4-minute mile. When you're having a conversation with your 4-minute mile every morning and every night before you go to bed, join Keys to Connection so we can do it together. In 8 weeks, we're going to be a different woman. And quite honestly, I'm in my 2nd week of this class. And I have up-leveled so much. Silence isn't painful to me anymore. practicing the pause. Some people call it the 3-second. I just make it interminable. I don't have the need to ejaculate out overall at anybody, even because I can resonate with them. I can still practice the pause inside and let them talk. I went out on 2 dates yesterday. And although I did offer conversation and things to do around the area, I didn't answer any of their questions. What do you do for a living? Why do you ask? What do you do for fun? Why do you ask? Are they just using me to get information, or are they interested in me? Are they using me because they have a hidden agenda, or are they interested in me? And now that I've done that with the women in my life too, why do you ask? I mirror back to them the ridiculousness of asking a personal question when there is nothing personal between us any other time of our lives except during this dinner conversation. So, are you asking me about my dating life because you just want information, or you just think that that's just conversation? It's not. It's emotional unintelligence. Ask me about the weather, or ask me about something that we have in common, like dance. Don't ask me a personal question. I used to answer it. Now I answer it with a question. And that's what Regulate on the Run can do for you. When you can take that deep belly breath, when you have the skills to redefine your reality into a safe one, you can sit back and practice the pause. You can prepare your space before you even walk into situations where you know people don't have pure intentions. But if you've never seen women prepare their space, how do you do it? You see YouTube videos on feminine energy and how to pray, and they're so woo-woo. You're like, ugh, how can I prepare my space as a real woman, not as a reincarnated witch, but a real woman living in real times, dealing with real shit? When somebody triggers me, how can I look them in the eye with total compassion and say nothing? How can I use my flirty facial expressions without talking? How can I tell a man that I'm happy with his dancing without talking? How can I tell a woman in a polite dinner conversation that wasn't a polite question without talking? How can I tell a man that's complaining that he just needs a little help and I don't say anything? What's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is they're all going to solve their problems without you. You're not necessary. They're totally capable. Every adult is capable to solve their own problems. And you just need to let them, by regulating yourself enough so that you stop regulating them. An immature energy is going to need you to regulate them. They're going to say to you, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, we never have time together. And you're not going to regulate them back by saying, oh, that's okay, I know we're all busy. You're just not going to say anything. You're just going to go, Or somebody that vomited you at dinner or vomited on you at dinner verbally, that apologizes 3 or 4 times. Afterwards, you just look at them and go, I can acknowledge your apology, but you're not getting any energy out of me, and you're not getting a reaction out of me, and I'm not going to regulate your nervous system by saying that's okay, because it's not. All right. Regulate on the Run is in Keys to Connection. Check out the link if any of this resonates with you, because there's plenty of people out here talking about it. Find one of them. Find one of them that resonates with you, that has pure intentions, that gives all the answers as well as sells for spiritual work. My value is in getting this done quickly for you, not just giving you all the answers. You can go to ChatGPT, but it's in the exchange where my value lies with you. Anyways, what a yummy conversation. I will see you in all the rooms.